Psalm 55. All right, to the chief musician on Neginoth, Maskil, a psalm of David. Give ear to my prayer, O God, and hide not thyself from my supplication. Attend unto me and hear me. I mourn in my complaint and make a noise. Because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. Of course, this is Jesus Christ, doctrinally. And of course, those that hate Christ in the millennial reign will come up against him at the end of the millennial reign. And then, of course, historically, this is David. And he's praying here. And, of course, David had many enemies. And so he's, of course, the voice of the enemy. And it could also be Israel. The voice of the enemy, which is the Antichrist, chasing Israel in the tribulation. So there's two prophetical interpretations of this. For they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. My heart is sore pained within me, and the terrors of death are fallen upon me. Fearfulness and trembling are come upon me, and horror hath overwhelmed me. A lot of times, that's the way it is when our troubles come upon us. They overwhelm us, and a lot of times we start trembling. Maybe not outwardly, but inside we think about everything that we're going through, or things that we have to get done during the week, and we are inside us. We just start trembling, wondering if we're going to be able to do it. And I said, oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then would I fly away and be at rest. Sometimes we just want to fly away and be at rest and get away from it, right? And so what I preach on Sunday is like, go and play, just get out of town, fly away from your troubles for a little bit, and go have a little bit of fun. And so there's nothing wrong with being away from all of it. We all need that, the time of rest and time of refreshing. Oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then would I fly away and be at rest. Lo, then would I wander off. Remember, lo means look or behold. Then would I wander far off and remain in the wilderness. And Selah, it says Selah, meaning for the future tribulation. See, Selah Petra. And Selah is also a musical note also. I would hasten my escape from the windy storm and tempest. Destroy, O Lord, and divide their tongues, for I have seen violence and strife in the city. Day and night they go about it upon the walls thereof. Mischief also and sorrow are in the midst of it. Wickedness is in the midst thereof. Deceit and guile depart not from her streets. For it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it. Neither was he that hated me that did magnify himself against me, then I would have hid myself from him. See, but he says, but it was thou, a man mine equal, my guide and mine acquaintance. See, those are the people that come up against us a lot of times. It's for us, it's the Christian people. They call themselves Christian. Maybe they're not really Christians, but they call themselves Christian. And it's people that we know that usually rise up against us and badmouth us or something because of our stand for being a Christian. And so it was not an enemy. It's not someone that you hate. It's someone that thinks that they're doing good, trying to tell you something. And it's those people that reproach us. It's not an enemy. Why? Because we expect that from our enemies. We expect that from the lost world, right? We expect them to reproach us. But obviously, a lot of times, it's not the lost people that reproach us. It's people that we know. It's family, usually. People that we know. People we work with. Neither was he that hated me that did magnify himself against me. Then I would have hid myself from him. In other words, I would have hid or I would have avoided him if I would have known that. but it was thou, a man mine equal, my guide, and mine acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together and walked into the house of God in company. See, I think when I think about this, I think of David and Absalom. You know, Absalom, maybe they went to the house of God together, you know, and Absalom could have been king maybe in the future if he would have just waited or something. And it was someone, what's that? Yeah, exactly. It works the same way with Jesus Christ and Judas Iscariot. I mean, they walked together in company, and so took sweet counsel together and walked into the house of God in company. Let death seize upon them and let them go down quick into hell. Wow. So we know that's the Antichrist. And so when the Antichrist comes up, it's a guy that's going to, they've had sweet counsel together. He's come in with flatteries and fair speeches and be able to deceive the hearts and the minds of the simple people, and got a group together. And so, I mean, this is the kind of person that's going to come in and try to rule over Israel. And he's going to be an antichrist. He's going to be a false Christ. And let death seize upon him and let them go down quick into hell, for wickedness is in their dwellings and among them. As for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. We've got to trust in that. You know, it doesn't matter who we hang around or I mean, for me, I mean, I spend a lot of time at work, but I don't want to go out eating with them. I don't want to hang around them. I'd rather go home, you know. As for me, I'll call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. I can picture David saying this, and it's not out of praise, out of pride that he's saying it. You know, evening and morning and at noon will I pray and cry aloud. I mean, this is what I want to do, and it's not because out of pride or anything David is saying this. And he shall hear my voice. He hath delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me, for there were many with me. God shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old, Selah, because they have no changes, therefore they fear not God. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. See, that's the way the Antichrist is. Oh, he'll come out sounding smoother than butter, but war's in his heart instead. His words were softer than oil, but they were drawn swords. You know, when you touch oil, how sticky and slimy it is? You have to be careful with people that can speak like and be as smooth as oil. Yet were they drawn swords. They'll cut you. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. That's a great promise right there. If we'll just cast our burdens upon God. But thou, O God, shalt bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. Psalm 56, to the chief musician upon Jonath Elam Rekokim. Try saying that 8 times. Miktam of David, when the Philistines took him in Gath. Be merciful unto me, O God, for man would swallow me up. He fighting daily oppresseth me. So remember, the Philistines took him in Gath, and remember, this is when they brought him to before Achish. Well, we talked about this in 1 Samuel. And mine enemies would daily swallow me up. That's the enemies of with the Philistines and everything. Remember, he killed Goliath. Now he's in their land. They brought him before, and they could swallow him up if they wanted to. They could all seize him and kill him during that time. And so this is why David wrote this psalm during that time. For they be many that fight against me, O thou most high. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. And, Christian, what time you're afraid, that's the best time to trust in the Lord. It's the best time. In God, I will praise his word. You have the word right there in your lap. You can trust in that. In God, I have put my trust. I will not fear what flesh can do unto me. Every day they wrest my words. All their thoughts are against me for evil. They gather themselves together. They hide themselves. They mark my steps. The lost world knows where you go. They mark where you go and what you do, and whether we realize it or not. They know, I guess, the place where we haunt. I guess it says that in 1 Samuel. They know the places we hang out at. They mark my steps. I'll bet I can just, in our neighborhood, we leave every Sunday morning. We leave every Sunday night to come to church, and every Wednesday night. And our neighbors know those things. They see it. They gather themselves together. They hide themselves. They mark my steps when they wait for my soul. Shall they escape by iniquity? In thine anger, cast down the people, O God. Thou tellest my wanderings. Put thou my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? So God has a book that he keeps our tears, and a bottle. I don't know if the bottle is like a little vial of our tears, but it says, are they not in thy book? So it's put in a bottle, and the bottle's placed in the book, or he writes it down in a book. When I cry unto thee, then shall mine enemies turn back. This I know, for God is for me. Amen, amen, amen. This I know, for God is for me. It reminds me of that verse, if God be for us, who can be against us? If God is for you, it doesn't matter if everyone is against you. But if God be against us, then who can be for you? There's nobody that can be for you if God's against us. So this I know, for God is for me. In God will I praise his word. In the Lord will I praise his word. In God have I put my trust. I will not be afraid what man can do unto me. Not only what flesh can do unto us, but what man can do unto us. Thy vows are upon me, O God. I will render praises unto thee. For thou hast delivered my soul from death. Wilt not thou deliver my feet from falling, that I may walk before God in the light of the living? So that psalm there is a lot about trusting in God, because that's all David could do when he was, I guess you could say he was kind of captured, because they were the ones that brought David in. But it's about trusting in the Lord, that psalm is. And, that's what we have to do every time we enter a trial or a trouble or anything that goes on in our life. We have to be able to trust in the Lord. And sometimes we may not know what God's doing, but we still have to trust him anyway. And so there's a lot of good things in that chapter. We're going to stop right there, because that's probably the most highlighted thing in that chapter is, although everybody can be against us, we have to trust in the Lord. And if we're trusting in the Lord and we're giving the Lord our burdens, and then he's going to bring us through it, because he's for us. Amen? Yes, ma'am.